Thanks for joining us. This is the Country Telegraph. Behind me we have Gundawindi, or Gundawindi as Lawrence said. My producer's disagreeing with me, but he did say it. So there you are. Now we want to learn something about our stunning merino industry, and there's no one better to talk about that than Ben Duxson. Now he's the proprietor of Glendemar Multi-Purpose Merinos, a fifth generation of his family to breed merinos at Marnoo in Victoria's Wimmera region. We also want to learn about Glendemar Farm, for that matter, accredited as a wild lamb producer. The farm is an independent family enterprise with a commitment to caring for animals and protecting the ecological diversity of the landscape. Now, when you purchase wild lamb, you can be confident you're receiving Australia's finest lamb delicacy while supporting food-producing families practicing ecologically sustainable farming. Now, is this part of a food revolution that's been too slow gathering steam? I think so. And we've been featuring many people on to talk about, changing things, making things better for the environment, better for the animals, better for your own health. First of all, Ben, thanks for joining us.
Hey, Mike, how are you?
Good. Now, tell me about about Glendemar, and tell me about your methods of farming, because we've had all week people coming on talking about bypass supermarkets if you can, go to your local butcher or go to markets and stuff like that and start supporting those on the land directly. What's the difference, and how's the industry changing?
No, we've bred for a long time on Australian breeding values, so we actually can measure the breeding values for eating quality nowadays. It'd be nice to get a bit more feedback on that, though. There's only one abattoir, which is Gundagai Meats in Australia, that actually gives you individual feedback, so we can actually get now that sort of stuff. We do enter competitions or trials or things like that. We've got Lambex coming up where we've supplied lambs for that as well. So there is a real movement around protein and the younger generation starting to look after themselves and demanding high quality products. So meat products and sheep meat. Sheep meat's not well known around the rest of the world except for here in Australia and produced. So we really have no competitors now except for New Zealand, who are lightning off all the time. But the current price increase has been demand driven, and we're about to enter a supply driven case scenario as well. So the Americans have got a big taste for it as well. So all about those people that are looking for high protein, looking to look after themselves, and certainly enjoy the taste of quality lamb.
What we need to do is send Sam Kekovich over there with one of those. I mean, they would be saying, I don't know what he's saying, but it sounds interesting.
100%. Sam's really good. His ads really have a real cut through in all of Australia, which is fantastic. The Australia Day lamb campaigns have been very well received in Australia here, but overseas there's some growing support for the lamb industry, and Australian producers are rising to that. There's certainly a lot being done on the breeding side of it.
What about this fuel crisis? And you see in Geelong, which will affect diesel. The refinery there, kaboom.
If we were looking for a worst case scenario, this would probably be it, wouldn't it? So we're already in a government-induced fuel and fertiliser and energy crisis, and here we go. They're making it even more extremely difficult. So these things obviously can be solved by Australians, but our policies leading up to now have been nothing but a disaster for Australian farmers. We're an energy-rich country, we're a fuel-rich country, and we shouldn't be the ones going through any sort of pain at the moment. If we had policies in place, we certainly wouldn't be in the position we are now.
How is the industry right now?
The sheep industry, we're talking?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's pretty fantastic at the moment. Wool prices have even gone up as well. So in all this turmoil, but it's evening out. So 2 or 3 years ago, prices really depressed, and we were getting about $15 for good carcass merino ewes that were 25 to 30 kilos. So that sort of product now is making between $200 and $300, and lamb sort of similar in gone up in value and percentage wise. So wool's gone up as well. So, the world does need the protein side of things. The supply side's about to kick in. So there's been a couple of droughts. There's been low prices, so people have got out of the industry. And then there's obviously the live sheep export trade has been knocked on the head by the Labor government in Western Australia. So all those factors have meant that the supply is about to kick in. It's all the all the price signals have been on demand, so now supply is going to go in. So it's going to be an interesting time in the next few months to see where they do get their lambs from.
Because you can't beat a lamb risole with some coriander. I've got to tell you, it's magnificent with a glass of red to wash it down.
Get the recipe out there, Mike.
Yeah, but you got to have it. I mean, look at Sam Kikovich. We want to grow up big and strong like Sam, not
100%.
Hey, tell me about ecological farming. I always think, because I am from the land, and that looked around us, and besides being chased by my dad wanting to box my ears, farmers are very, very, very concerned about the environment, because if they don't look after their land, they're stuffed. So what's the difference between what has been done and what you're talking about here in ecologically sustainable farming?
Yeah, so this comes on the wool sort of side of things. So when we were facing backlash to the mulesing debate, and it still does happen here in Australia, and it's a real hindrance to our industry. But we were 2000 when we last muled, so 25 years ago, quarter of a decade. And the wool brands wanted to make sure that everything that the wool producer was doing was sustainable and ecological and all that sort of stuff. So there's quality assurance programs out there now. So Responsible Wool Standards, New Zealand Merino have just changed their name, have got a ZQ standard as well. And they're not overly hard. They make your business better anyway, is that you're documenting what you're doing with your fertilisers, with your how you go animal welfare and all that sort of stuff. So not very hard to do, but certainly the way the world wants to go is to make sure that we're doing the right thing, and we can do that. So we tick that box, and it certainly does give us a little bit of premium on the wool sort of side of it, and it'll probably come down the lamb track as well.
You did a bad thing before. You mentioned how great it was. You should never do that, because politicians be going, "Oh, really?"
That's it.
We have to put our hand out for a little more, but they don't understand that. A great year now and maybe next year, but you'll have some bad years too.
Well, I tell everyone, and everyone's about the same, that we were all playing catch up. We fed through the drought here for 2 years constantly, so at pretty good prices, and then the price for the lamb wasn't very good. So this is only just catch up, and that's all we are at the moment. And then we need to make sure it's a sustainable industry right through to the future.
Thinking all the ads with lamb. This is how old I am. There used to be the one. Tom Cruise was coming over for a Sunday lunch because you had lamb.
Yep.
I think they were trying to pull the wool over our eyes for that one. Ben, if somebody wants to find out more about what you do and all about your farm and stuff, and maybe have a bit of a natter, or better still, buy you a beer, how do they do that?
Just Glendemar MPM on the internet there, and you'll find links to what we get up to there. So, no, thank you.
Absolutely fantastic. Thank you very much for your time. This is the Country Telegraph.